Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Good morning to you who are in PST time and other times as well. I'm currently in Brazil, so it's afternoon to me. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Everyone, I will just ask for 2 more minutes, all right? Just so that everyone can join us. We still have a couple of people waiting in line here to join us. So let's just wait a couple more minutes, all right? Let me present my screen and I will ask you guys for a favor. We had this very same, it's not the same webinar because it's in Portuguese, but we discussed this same topic yesterday for our Brazilian customers, right? And we had an issue with the slide, all right? So with the deck that I'm about to show you. So I will share it. I believe that you can see it. But in case you can't, or in case somehow throughout this webinar it cuts the screen and you cannot see it anymore, you can only see my face, please let me know. Okay, so we have the chat button here, so you can just tell me, Fernanda, whatever it is that you want to call me. I cannot see your share screen. Please fix it. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that right now it's okay. I've just gotten the okay from a customer here, so that's good. So we can talk through the chat button. All right. And let me just wait 1 more minute. Okay, guys. For those who joined us right now, I am just waiting a few more minutes so that everyone who was in line to join the webinar can get settled in. And soon we will discuss here our agenda for today. Okay. So, guys, I can see some familiar faces here. And I can tell you that you're probably wondering why I am alone up here, right? So usually I am with my colleague Luis, who is an AI specialist here at Pipefy, but he is currently on vacation. All right, so he's well off, enjoying his time off. And he left me up for the challenge here to talk a little bit about AI, specifically for image and document analysis. All right. So I accepted the challenge. I am doing pretty good when it comes to Pipefy AI. So hopefully I can match his energy, his knowledge here with you guys. But that's why I am the only one here today. Okay. So please bear with me. I have two screens here. So the first one here is where you can see me. I am sharing my screen, and in the other one I can see the chat. I can see the Q&A button and all the things that I will need. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that everyone was able to join us by now. So let's do it. Guys, before we get started, I just wanted to clarify two things, all right? The first one being that we are recording this webinar, okay? So don't worry if you need to leave early, if you want to share this content with someone from your team, with someone from your organization, the link will be available to you right after this webinar, all right? So I promise at most until tomorrow morning, you will have the link and the material that I'm sharing right now in your email. All right. So if you've subscribed to the training, you will already receive that email. And the second thing that I want to clarify is that we have here the Q&A button, all right? So in case you have any questions throughout the webinar, whether it is about Pipefy, whether it is about AI, whatever it is that I can help you with, please just send us through the Q&A button, okay? Because if you send a question through the chat, I'm afraid that I won't be able to control it, whether I've answered your question or not, okay? And if it so happens that we don't have enough time to cover your questions in the Q&A, which is at the end of the webinar, don't worry, we will answer you individually through email later, all right? So once you send that question, your email is already available to us, and I'm sure that you will receive your response like within 24 hours as well, okay? All right, so let's get started, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Fernanda, so you can call me Fe. I am a global product trainer here at Pipefy. All right, not the AI specialist that you are used to hearing and learning from in these webinars. But when it comes to Pipefy AI, I do like to think of myself as an expert because I have trained, I have tested every possible, basically every possible um, you could say basically from every product that we have at Pipefy AI, I have tested every possible scenario, right? So that is related to our Pipefy AI agents. It is relatable to our AI copilots, and it is also relatable to AI automation, which will be our main focus here today. Okay. So our agenda basically starts with some challenges and opportunities for claim analysis processes in insurance and processes in healthcare, all right? So this is going to be our focus for the webinar because they are two use cases in which we do offer and we do realize the need to cover the image and document analysis, all right? So it will cover overall every use case. You can apply what I tell here, what I show you here today to your own reality, of course, all right? But our examples here for today, even some research, will be regarding insurance and healthcare, all right? And you will be able to see in a demo here, in a product demo, how it works in practice, right? So we will be able to see some image and document reading and analysis through our AI. And I will also cover some steps that you can take to implement Pipefy AI. And at the end, hopefully we will have a few minutes to cover our questions here in the Q&A. All right? So let's do it, guys. I do like to clear everything out when it comes to Pipefy AI automation because I do believe the questions surround the possibilities that we have regarding every use case, like I said, every reality, right? But Pipefy AI automation does use computer vision and natural language processing techniques. So that is used specifically when it comes to the image and document analysis to extract, understand, and classify this data from images, texts, and the documents, okay? So this is how our AI works. And we can understand that the biggest challenges faced by our customers today, that not only it comes to that, like when not only it comes to insurance or healthcare, but this is applied to basically a lot of scenarios, right? So we are talking about HR processes, legal, finance, and so on. So we understand that we have an excessive amount of operational and manual processes with these teams, right? So this is one of the main challenges that are faced specifically right before these companies, these teams consider the implementation of Pipefy AI. We can also see numerous stages in processes for validation and checking of information, right? So that refers to, let's suppose, a lot of phases in the same process and a lot of steps and a lot of people and a lot of resources involved to analyze one image, to analyze one document. And we can see that AI can do that very scalable. Like it can do that with a scalability that is a lot more like it's a lot more effective, right, to your organization. We can also see some concerns about fraudulent activities, some technical or illegible language, right? Which it can happen that a person will not be able to understand what is in that image or document at its 100% ability over there, right? And it also happens to have some false information. And as we all know, some manual mistakes can happen. It is absolutely human. And once we have a lot of concerns, once we have very sensitive data being dealt with, that can be an issue, right? We can also see the lack of time and staff to monitor claims and healthcare process activities. Again, this is applied to every scenario, right? Overall, it just means that we have an overwhelmed team with no time to innovate, with no time to think outside the box, to think of more strategy activities for the company, for their routine. And of course, we have here an effect on the process quality as well, right? So that team is no longer able to implement improvements based on the feedback that they have received from the process, right? So the AI is basically one way to solve or at least minimize all of these challenges, all of these issues that are faced by most of our customers, right? And I have here a research from Gartner, right? So this is from this year, at the beginning of this year, all right? So the use of AI in the insurance sector is being compared to other administrative functions as well, right? But we can see that the investment in AI-led insurance processes is ramping up. So 80% of these technologies can bring more value to those processes, to those companies, right? And we've been also able to realize that 65% of those companies say that they plan to invest more than $10 million into AI, right? So those surveys have been being gathered ever since 2019, right? But we do realize that has ramped up, that has continuous growth, right? Over this year, basically. Okay, so we can see, of course, the impact of AI in our daily lives, not only in our work routine, but also in our day-to-day lives, right? So you will have access to this material later, and you can check the research later on, right? We also have other sources here, and we can realize that we can see that 62% of businesses leaders feel the pressure to adopt AI and modernize these infrastructures immediately, right? Especially during, of course, like I said, this year that we have seen this growth on AI differentials, right, for the processes. And studies also show that productivity can gain to 37% to 56% with the adoption of AI. All right. And we will be able to see that in action, in practice soon enough. Okay. So overall, how can yourself or how can your organization overcome these challenges and get the most out of AI in your claims, insurance processes, or other types of processes as well? All right. We have three very important steps here. The first one is applicability, right? So we need to evaluate use cases here to pursue. We need to prioritize each function, each like responsibility that the process has to understand in which step, in which use cases the AI is most applicable, right? The second one being collaboration with other teams, all right? And in this part, we will cover the security and the data privacy that our AI has ensured to all of its users, okay? And the third step being the ease of use. Now, I do like to highlight that, okay? I'd like to just tell you a little info about myself, all right? So I've been at Pipefy for over, it's almost 3 years, right? And when I got here at Pipefy, I wasn't that tech savvy as you expect someone to be, right? So I had experiences with some, for example, some other tools, Google, Microsoft, things like that. But when I started to get really into Pipefy, I started to learn basic, intermediate, advanced features from Pipefy. From low to no code at all, I learned how easy it was for me to be tech savvy when it came to Pipefy, right? So I do like to highlight that because I am not a major in like computer science. I do not program at all. However, I do feel very comfortable, very empowered to do a lot of things at Pipefy, even if it involves a little bit of code. And when we're talking about AI, that is like even below the no code level, right? So AI is the easiest tool to use when it comes to Pipefy. And it is very straightforward. It is very quick for you to learn. So that is also what we will cover here in the third step. Okay. So the first one being applicability, right? So how can AI be used within your operation? So let's identify here first the main bottlenecks in your operation that consume your team's time and effort, and basically what we covered here previously in the webinar, right? So once you've identified the automation that can be used to make this process more objective, more intelligent, more efficient, you will then identify possible anomalies and error detections, right? So that is very applicable to prompts at AI automation, for example. So I don't know if all of you here have been able to test our AI automation. You will be able to see it soon enough. But the only secret to it is the prompt, right? You just need to write an objective and thorough prompt. So once you do that, the first thing that you need to realize is that it's trial and error, right? Until you don't have that error anymore. So once you've been able to grasp the prompt abilities, like the prompt writing abilities, you're very good to go. You will be able to test it. The trial won't have an error at the end, right? So this is what that means. We can detect errors from those tests, from automations, from other features as well, and we can understand how that error can be minimized, right? And if you're able to analyze, for example, the difference between manual error and the first few errors that you might come to face with the automation, you will be able to understand why the automation is so important, right? The error in automation will happen like once, if that, because you are learning to write the exact prompt. And the manual error that we've seen it happen, right, very often, right, because it comes to human mistakes. So that is something that you will be able to see in my demo soon enough. Then after you've realized that there is an error with an automation, you will be able to analyze what is going wrong, what is going right, how can I improve this, and then you can continuously assist and have an operational enhancement with those activities. So those are the steps that you can take when it comes to AI, all right? And we have here another research, right? So this is from Accenture in this year as well. So which technologies are most likely to be implemented by 2026? 100% of those answers covered artificial intelligence or machine learning. And in second place, at 88%, we have low code to no code development platforms, right? So if you put those two together, you get Pipefy, right? You get AI and a low code to no code platform, right? So this is how we can see the market and the technology changing in these next few years. So the second step being the collaboration with other teams. We do have a secure and responsible AI, right? So your data is private by default, and it is protected here by our agreements and our zero data retention policies, okay? So the data is never used for the training of the AI. It's a generative AI, and we have here encryption for both transfers and storage. So those are the certifications that we have. And please, guys, if you have any questions about security, about data privacy, about governance as well, just send us here through the Q&A button, and we will take care of it. We can answer you. We can actually even give you some other examples here that we have when it comes to the security and privacy of data, all right? And the third step, so let me just drink some water, 1 second. And the third step that we have is my favorite, like I said, the ease of use, okay? So we can use AI that is straightforward, fast, and that empowers people, which is what I said, right? We can have many different levels of permission, of knowledge when it comes to technology, or even when it comes to Pipefy, that are able to use AI, right? As long as it fits into the governance of your organization, as an admin of your organization, you can decide who has permission to do, right, to use the functionalities, the resources of Pipefy, so you can empower any of these people to have that ease of use of Pipefy AI. So we have other data here as well. We have that 52% of AI projects on average never make it into production, right? So that is more than half of those projects that are thought about, that are even planned, they are never put into production, right? And it usually takes 8 months to go from an AI prototype to production, okay? None of these data here are a good result, are something that we expect a Pipefy customer to have, right? So this is what I'm here for. This is what we are trying to help you with those webinars, with these webinars, right? Once you see these demos, once you have the plan to use Pipefy, Pipefy AI, you just need to practice. You just need to understand the reality of how AI automation, AI agents, AI copilots fits into your needs, how it can solve your problems, your issues with the company, then you will realize how easy it is to actually make it into production, right? And I assure you, it does not take 8 months, not when it comes to Pipefy AI, right? So you will have the chance to see it, right, very soon in my demo, okay? But basically, this is how it works with Pipefy, okay? We have here our Gen AI, which is a trained model, and it has access to public information from the internet, and it is combined with our low to no code resources and features, right? Such as automations, integrations, interfaces, and so on. And we have the whole process orchestration with that. So that is basically your data, your processes, and your know-how combined, okay? So that is how the AI is applied into Pipefy. Remember, guys, if you have any questions, just type in the Q&A button, okay? So right before I can actually get into the demo, I will explain a little bit about the products that we have when it comes to Pipefy AI, right? I understand that some of you already know when I mentioned the agents, the copilot, and the automation. Some of you already know what I'm talking about, but some of you don't still, okay? So I will cover here now, all right? This is actually written wrong. So it's how to use Pipefy AI to enhance the efficiency of specifically teams, right? So we are talking here about the demo is going to be about claims and insurance and healthcare, but it can be applied to a legal team, to a finance team, to an HR team, and so on, all right? So first of all, we're talking about the implementation of the AI. And for that, implementation of a process, right, in Pipefy. For that, we can use the AI Copilot, right? So that would be a first segment of the AI Copilot, which is to create processes, right? It can also help optimize these workflows before you even have a pipe created. So once you log in Pipefy and you have the home page, you should already be able to see a banner, which is basically talk to the AI, just tell Pipefy AI the process that you want to create. You even have some suggestions below so that you can practice, right? But let's see this example here. Create a claims reimbursement process based on market's best practices, all right? So you can give clear instructions regarding the process that you want to create, but you can also ask the AI for suggestions based on market research, based on best practices, and so on. Once this process is created and you have established everything that you want to have an optimized workflows, you can automate, right? So that is when we will get to use the Pipefy AI automation. We can scale repetitive and manual tasks, right? So these are a few, just very few of the many infinite possibilities that we have with AI automation. We can have the damage processing and assessment when it comes to claims. We can have the reading and analysis of images and documents, which is basically what I'm covering in this webinar today. And we can have some compliance and regulation study as well, all right? So if you weren't able to check out our previous webinars, you can check out our Pipefy Academy. All right, at the end of the webinar, I will have a link to that. And you can check out all of the webinars that we hosted, in which we have different examples of capabilities for AI automation, of sentences that you can write to AI Copilot, for example. And we even have examples of prompts, all right? So you can check that out in our Pipefy Academy as well. But along with the AI automation, we have a different product that also offers this optimization, right? The AI agent solves internal client inquiries, okay? So our AI agent is basically a chatbot. So I can, as an internal client, I can ask, what is the status of my reimbursement request for the damaged product, okay? And the admin of the organization can establish which information the agent can tell this person, can tell the customer, right? So which information will be given out. And it can also determine that some specific information will not be available to those customers. So this chatbot is also a possibility for you to add in Pipefy's new portal. You can add it in Pipefy's interfaces. You can even add it to Slack or Microsoft Teams, for example. All right. So that is also a product that will be very efficient in your implementation. And we'll have the overall analysis once this process is efficient. Okay. So that is the second segment of our AI Copilot. So that is able to analyze and get insights into your process, okay? So it's also a chat. Like I said, the Copilot, the first segment you will use to talk to the AI to create a process, right? In the second segment, you will use it to talk to actually get insights into the already created and efficient process, right? So for example, you can ask how many damaged products were reimbursed last month. You can ask a lot of different questions, right? So you even have some suggestions based on your own process. So once you enter the pipe, you have the AI button below. So that is your chatbot able to answer any questions that you may need regarding what is in that process, okay? So if you put all of those products together, you get constant improvement with Pipefy AI. Now, I will get to my demo right now, okay? And I will show you specifically the use of AI automation, okay? Because like I said, our main focus here for today is on reading and analyzing images and documents, okay? That is today still not able to do through the Copilot. That is a very useful use case for our AI automation. And technically, it is also available through AI agents, but it is different. It's a different scenario. The AI agent is only a chatbot. So it can have knowledge of specific documents that you input into the configuration, the setup of this chatbot, right? But if you want an automation to read and analyze and basically translate what it is in an image, in a document, into Pipefy fields, for example, that is through AI automation, right? So I will get to it right now. Guys, we have a question in the chat that I found to be really good. So I will not even leave it to the end of the webinar. So Mark asked, can agents be used by external users without Pipefy access? Absolutely, okay? Once you have that agent in, for example, a public interface, if you have that in a public portal, then it is available to every user, all right? I'm sorry, to everyone. So every like internet user, not necessarily a Pipefy user, all right? But if you do have that, for example, in your internal Slack, and not all members from your team have the Pipefy access, that is also available to use, all right? So let's move on here to our demo. And everyone, feel free to ask any questions that you may wonder about, okay? We will now cover how to use Pipefy AI. So first of all, I have a screenshot here of a prompt, all right? And soon you will be able to see a video of this automation in action, okay? So I hope this page is familiar to all of you. If it's not, you can just enter into a pipe that you have created and click on automations and create a new one, right? So the trigger that I used here was a very simple one whenever a card is created in this specific pipe. But I can use different events here. I can use different triggers to generate with AI, right? So my action here is generate with AI. And we can see here, guys, that the prompt is actually fairly long, okay? I actually have two screenshots. So this is the first one and this is the second one. So this is a very long prompt, okay? But we can understand here that my main objective was to be as detailed as possible. I needed to be accurate and I needed the AI to consider a specific policy. All right, so come along with me. Analyze if the health insurance claim can be accepted based on the information provided below. Now, these blue boxes here, those are dynamic fields that you can select. These dynamic fields will be considered by the AI, will be analyzed by the AI, and we call it dynamic because those are fields that will change the value according to each card, right? So for example, every patient that is looking to have a reimbursement of a healthcare insurance claim, they will open a new card. So the patient name will be different because every request in the process is supposed to be different, right? So that is why we refer to it as a dynamic field. So in here, we have the patient name, the service description, the total amount billed, and we have the supporting documents, right? So which is basically the receipt or the invoice that we have for this claim. This field here is the attachment, is where we will find the image or the document, okay? And of course, you can determine in the field itself, in the attachment field, which kind of format you will choose to accept of attachment, right? So it can be a picture, PNG, right? Or it can be a PDF, or it can be an Excel file. So that is up to you as well. Right below these boxes, I have here, check if it complies with the rules of the health insurance policy described here. So this is why this prompt is so long, right? The main objective of my prompt is above it, right? However, I do need the AI here to analyze my policy. Now, I showed you this prompt because I have a spoiler, right? The spoiler is we are about to release a new feature of AI automation, which is basically skills, right? So the AI will have the skill to analyze the document without us having to write it in the prompt. So we could, for example, attach this policy in a doc file, right? In a text file, we could attach it in the skill of the AI. So it wouldn't need to be this long prompt, okay? Now that is to be announced, okay? So stay tuned. You will all receive a lot of messages and content, helpful content about this release that we're going to have, right? But so far, the workaround that we have is to actually copy the content of this policy or whatever instructions that you may have and paste it in the prompt, okay? So even though it is long, the AI will be able to understand it, okay? And then after we provide all of these information, we've even asked for another instruction for the AI to analyze. Answer with approved, reject, or rejected, or unable to analyze. Also provide the reasoning behind your answer, right? We always advise you to put this instruction below, and that usually goes with the field, right? So let me explain. What we're asking the AI to do is to analyze this claim and to understand it if it's approved or rejected, or if it was unable to analyze. So that is the first field that we are going to select to return the results here, right? So that is the AI analysis results, okay? We can select here up to 30 different fields, okay? So the AI can update a lot of different fields in one single automation. In this case, I just wanted to update 2 fields. The results the AI will analyze, and I want to know why. What was the reason behind this AI processing to determine if it's approved or rejected, or if it was unable, right? So I have a long text field that just says why. You can, of course, give any title that you want. You can put AI reasoning, just arguments, whatever it is that you need to understand what was the thought, right, behind that AI processing, okay? So we will be able to see the video now. I'm not sure if you can listen to the audio, but you don't need to, okay? This is basically what I've mentioned, all right? So the health insurance claim process, we can see that it's very time consuming, can have a lot of human error, and Pipefy AI is here to fix that, okay? So what I'm going to do is establish that automation. Whenever a card is created, we will just type our instructions. You can see that I've selected the dynamic field through that blue box over there. And of course, I will copy and paste the policy here, right? And then you will be able to see that I've selected the fields of results, okay? And we will be able to see a card being created here as well, okay? But before that, I do like to show you that there are different possibilities that we have here with AI. I will use another automation to help my process that has nothing to do with generate AI, right? So let me just go back here 1 second because it's quick. I've decided to create another automation here that states that whenever a field is updated, now what field is that? The AI analysis results. If you remember, it's that one that I've asked the AI to update with approved, rejected, or unable to analyze. All right. And it will follow these conditions. All right. So let's see here. The AI analysis results needs to be equal to unable to analyze, or it will be equal to rejected. Right. So if it is either or, we will move the card to the phase of review. Why have I created this specific automation? Because I can always still use a manual, a human review if it's necessary, right? So I, of course, can test this automation, this prompt that I've created to see how accurate this AI will be. I assure you, if you have a process like that, we have tested this prompt a lot. It is very effective, all right? But let's suppose here that whenever this claim is rejected or unable to analyze, it is a more delicate subject, right? I will actually need to be in touch with this the patient that came in contact with me, and then we'll need to explain why this request was rejected or if we were unable to analyze it, right? So if that was what the AI determined, I can move the card to a phase that a specific person is assigned to the phase that they will review each case that the AI was unable to review it, or of course the AI was able to, but I need a person to double check that. Right? Even with a manual or human action into this process, your overall organization, your overall flow of the process here will be very optimized with this automation. All right? So this is an option that you have as well, to have a human review. Okay? Now I'm creating a card here, right? So I have the patient name, which is Jane Doe. I could have the email. I have the insurance ID. I could have the contact details. I have the total amount billed as well, right? Now I'm going to upload the receipt or the invoice here, right? I have a few files here, but I will do the health checkup receipt, all right? We've just used an example, okay? But we've used many examples like with different information. I have here the type of claim and the description. So this is the annual routine health checkup, okay? once I've created this card, if you remember, that was the trigger that I used, okay? It wasn't even 1 second, guys. And we can see here that the AI analyzed it to be approved. Now, why is that, AI? Tell me. And the AI told me that the claim is approved because the service provided is actually covered under the policy that we explained it, right, through the prompt. Let me just take a sip of water here, guys. Now we have a different card, okay? We have a different amount billed here. You can see that the first amount was 341. This one is 500, all right? And we have the same receipt. This is the health checkup receipt, right? The type of claim, in this case, I put dental claims. And the service description, you will see it was a dental checkup, right? And once we create this card, we are able to see that the AI has indeed rejected, right? Because it was the same one that I used in the first request that has absolutely nothing to do with dental checkup, okay? Like the AI analyzed itself, the service description didn't match the services that was listed in the receipt, as well as the total amount, right? So I put 500, and in the receipt, the AI was able to read and analyze that it was supposed to be 341, right? So this is just an example of healthcare insurance, all right? Hopefully you want to see another example, which is what I have here. Let me just, all right. So hopefully you are able to see my screen. I believe that you are. Now we're going to talk about an auto claim reimbursement. Okay, so now we're going to talk about cars. Okay, so I've used the same trigger whenever a card is created in this pipe. Okay, and I also have a fairly long prompt. However, it is shorter than the first one. Okay, and there are no policies here. So the only decision that I made here was, again, to be thorough, detailed, and very objective with my instructions, okay? Like I said, when I was talking about the other AI products, if you haven't watched our previous webinars yet, I do advise you to, because like as I said earlier as well, we have other examples of prompts. So you can see that depending on your use case, depending on your objective of generate with AI, the prompt can be 1 paragraph. I've seen a prompt with like 3 lines that was like very, very useful. Okay, it worked for what it was supposed to. Okay, so you should analyze what you want and just write an effective prompt. Soon I will be able to offer you more techniques about prompts. If you stay until the end of the webinar, I will be able to show you the best techniques for that. Okay. So what I've written here is basically asking the AI to pretend that they are an analyst working for an insurance company. And their job is to analyze the images provided by the insured, right? Which in this case is requesting the reimbursement for their auto claim. And I want the AI to fill in certain fields in Pipefy with the information. Now look at this sentence specifically. Follow the step-by-step instructions, right? Read the driver's license attached in the field, look for the name and fill in the name, and look for the ID and fill in the ID. So this example, in this example, you will be able to see an image, a document being literally translated into a field, right? So that manual work does take time. You don't want to get a document wrong, right? So whenever I'm analyzing a specific document, I go by like each specific number and make sure that I'm typing it out correctly. That takes a lot of time and effort from your team. And of course, the AI will be able to do that in a matter of seconds, all right? Then we have another very interesting sentence, guys. We have, additionally, be extremely meticulous, act like an experienced professional mechanic, and thoroughly analyze all the images attached in these supporting documents. These supporting documents will be the pictures of the incident, will be the actual evidence of what we need to, what of course the AI needs to analyze to see what happened with that car, with that automobile, that it actually requires assistance, okay? Then, of course, the AI will fill in the accident's description field. And also an interesting fact here, I've put it minimum 100 words in this description field. I can actually tell the AI what I want it to do, right? I want it in at least 100 words. I could put a maximum 200 words. I have a lot of examples of AI suggesting responses to customers that can be applied to a CRM process, a sales process, a marketing process, which is basically something that happened to the customer, and we want the suggestion of the AI of the best response in this particular case. And if I want that from the AI, I can ask for it to give me in 4 paragraphs. I can ask it to give me in 2 lines. All of this is just basically based on the instructions, okay? Then I just wrote a more detailed description of what I want. Note interior damages, like deployed airbags, specify the exact location of damages in the car, right? And use technical terms to describe them. Still using the same images, you could fill in the accident severity field. Check all identified damages and so on, okay? And from the same images, they will be able to locate the vehicle's license plate, the necessary repairs, the model, the color, and basically everything that I asked it to. Now I've asked the AI to analyze the image or document attached in the invoice, receipt, or work order, which is basically based on the same aspect, the same like origin as the first example that we had. We had the invoice or the receipt for the health insurance claim. In this case, we have here the same for an auto claim, all right? So in this case, the AI will locate the name of the automobile repair shop, the description of the service, and the value, okay? And then the AI will compare these repairs listed in the work order or the receipt, right? And of course, fill in a comparison field. So it will analyze the damage in the car, the work that was done, and see if it actually matches. See if that reimbursement is pre-approved, let's say, okay? And of course, like I told you in the first example, I always ask the AI to provide a justification behind the reasoning behind that analysis, okay? The second screenshot that I have is just the fields that we will have the returned results, okay? So in this case, we have a lot of those. We have the name, ID, like I said, the vehicle model, color, the damages identified, the value of the service provided, and so on, all right? So now we'll be able to see the video. Like I said, the beginning of the video, we're just giving the information that you may need to understand the time consumed, the manual work behind the processing and the analysis of those insurance claims, all right? No matter what field of insurance that we're talking about. In this case, we just decided to show the healthcare and automobile, all right? So in this demo in particular, we will show you the other way around. We will first show you the card being created, all right? Let me just go back here to the start form. We will be able to see the option to attach the document, okay? So we have here an auto claim reimbursement, and we have the driver's license first. So we just picked an example from the internet, all right, everyone? You can test that as you would like to, but this is just a fake example, okay? This is a driver's license. This is the supporting documents, which is basically pictures of what happened to the car. That was the incident, right? I sure hope that this person's okay because the car is very damaged. So we will upload these pictures here. You can have as many as you want here in this case. We offered a lot. And we have the service order, right? Again, this is from the internet, right? So this was from a fake automobile shop, auto repair shop. But like I said, this is for testing purposes. Once we create a new card, we can see here, again, in a matter of seconds, the insured's name, right? So the fake person in the internet, that was indeed her name, the ID, the vehicle's model and color, we have the license plate, and we have the information that the accident severity was indeed very high. Then we have some identified damages, okay? And right below that, we have a lot more fields that were filled out by the AI. We have the accident description. So this vehicle was involved in the accident. The primary damage is located at the front of the vehicle. The front bumper is very damaged. And you can see here on the scroll that it is a long, detailed description of what may have happened, all right? And we have here the necessary repairs that were identified. I didn't even ask it to be like 1, 2, 3. I didn't ask it to be from a list. I could have asked that, but the AI just decided to offer me in this organization, right? We have the automobile repair shop that, like I said, we also took from the internet, but that was indeed the name, right? Garage name. And we have here the description of the service provided, right? So we have here what was done, right? And the comparison total value with the necessary repairs identified, right? Considering that we took different files from the internet, indeed they weren't matched, right? They weren't referring to the same accident. So again, the work order lists a lot of parts from the car that weren't even identified as necessary repairs to be done, right? And the total value, of course, couldn't even match it. So in this case, the reimbursement was not pre-approved. And we have here the justification for it, okay? So in this case, it is not pre-approved, all right? Now we can see what was done in the automation, which is basically what I just showed you. Whenever a new card is created, we can generate with AI, right? This box, like I said, is the secret. You just need to write a thorough and detailed and effective prompt. Once you write everything you need, this blue box, of course, is also involved in the prompt because you need to select the dynamic fields that the AI will take into account. Once you write that and once you select all of the fields to return the results, which in this case are also a lot, right? You have the option to test the automation, see if it worked. And if it's something went wrong, you can test a different prompt. You can ask for our help here at Pipefy, and we assure you that we will cover the best possible example for your reality, for your use case. All right? So everyone, that was the demo that I had to show you. Let me also just, all right. I can see that we have here one question, but I will cover at the end of the webinar, all right? So now I want you to think about how much time is lost on low value added activities, how many errors and rework could be avoided with the help of a good automation, and how much could the lead time be improved and why. Now I want you to apply all of those questions to every possible capability in your field of study, in your field of expertise, in your work routine as well. In this case, we have some examples of claims in insurance capabilities, all right? But like I said, if you want to check out our previous webinars, we have a lot of those examples in different cases of use and in different areas as well, all right, departments. So everyone, I want you to pick out your phone and take out this QR code. We have a new AI course in Pipefy Academy. In case you haven't completed yet, it is maximum 1.5 hours of your entire day, right? You could also split it. You could also like do 10 minutes a day of this course. It is a very effective course to teach you not just about Pipefy AI, but also about machine learning and artificial intelligence in the market in itself. right? So it's a free course. You can have access to it as long as you want. You will get the certificate once you finish the course and take out our quiz. It's not a very difficult quiz, but you do need to actually learn from the course to perform this quiz. You have a lot of chances to do it, and this certificate will be very valuable to you in your company, in your team, and of course in your day-to-day use from Pipefy. All right. So if you do go in this QR code, it will lead you directly to the AI course. But if you check out our Pipefy Academy at the same link, you just need to leave your course, you have the other webinars that we hosted here so far. But for those, I can also see this question here. For those who weren't here at the beginning, this webinar was indeed recorded, all right? So you will receive this recording by tomorrow morning, all right? Along with the material as well. So you can access this whenever you would like, all right? And I also want to explain a little bit about the credit system, okay? I do not have a lot of time, so if you have any questions about the credit system, how it works from Pipefy, how the pricing works, just let us know and we will talk to you here in the individual area. But in the AI credits overall, it can be split here into business, enterprise, or unlimited. That depends on your plan from Pipefy, right? But you already have some credits. We advise you to test it as much as you want to see how it can be applied to your reality, and just get in touch with us whenever you have any questions about this system, about how it changes from your monthly or annual plan, all right? Now, everyone, I want to know who wants to actually test this value of Pipefy AI. I understand that not all of you have had the chance to actually try out our Pipefy AI feature. So just answer this poll here if I am able to help you, all right? So if you just you can choose if you want to find opportunities to adopt Pipefy AI in your processes, or if you're learning to learn, if you want to learn more about Pipefy AI, just let me know. We can schedule a call, right? Just for me to understand a little bit more about your use case, about what problem you're currently having, and how can Pipefy AI add value to that, okay? So you can just pick out any answer and we will get in touch with you later on, right? And I can understand, like I said, even more of your specific department or reality, right? You can also give out ideas for us, guys. If you want any different webinars for us to do, just let me know and we will cover that in our agenda, okay? I do have a couple of more minutes. So if you have any questions about Pipefy, about AI, just let me know here in the Q&A button, all right? Let me see which ones I can cover, all right? That's perfect, guys. You've asked about the limit of fields that the AI automation can return the results, and the limit of dynamic fields that the AI can analyze. Those have been updated fairly recent, right? It used to be 20, now we have the limit of 30 different fields. So one single automation, guys, it's one automation, right? It can have a very thorough prompt, and it can analyze up to 30 different fields, and it can update to up to 30 different fields. As long as you have the same trigger, right? It is the same objective, it is in the same action, you can add those up to 30 fields, all right? And that is being worked on by our AI team here at Pipefy. So if you have any feedbacks as well of possible improvements, just let us know. That will be taken into consideration, okay? And I'm seeing here that you are all very excited about our new feature from AI, which is the skill to actually upload, right, an attachment, and the AI automation will take that into consideration without us having to actually write everything in the prompt. I'm excited too. I've already been able to test it internally, and I think it's going to be very good. We're just working out a few things to make sure that once it goes live, everyone is very very correctly, will be able to use it correctly, right? And that will be soon enough, okay? Let me see if I have another question here. with the AI agents, so I have the question about how can I upload an attachment in the AI agents, all right? If you go to Pipefy Academy, in this specific course, in the Pipefy AI course, we have different videos, different learning sessions about each product. So we have about AI Copilot, we have about AI agent, and we have about AI automations as well. So the AI agent has a category in the setup, which is also skills, right? So one skill for the agent is to analyze those documents. It's to upload those documents, right? So you can upload a document with also up to 30 pages, right? And the document, if you have a longer document, you will split it into two. The AI agent will be able to analyze this policy and answer the customers based on what is written in that document or what is containing in that image, all right? So that is also possible through agents. Let me go back here in case you weren't able to pick the QR code. This is the place where you will learn everything about Pipefy AI, all right? And you will get my email from the recording that I will send to you by tomorrow. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. All right. I think I've covered most of them, guys. But if I haven't all of them, I can assure you that you will receive it individually. All right. So that's the time that we have, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. William, I do not have the link right now. I just have here the QR code. William asked me to place the link in the course chat. I can send the link to the course in the email. All right. So along with the recording, I will send you that link. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I really hope to see you all in our next webinars. And I hope that you will be able to test and see the value of Pipefy AI. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.